Good morning, gang. It's Pastor Bob from the Springs Community Church, and I'm here bringing you another daily Devo, and I want to start a different direction in terms of a series with you and just explore some thoughts over the next number of days with you. And it kind of centers around this idea of what is it that you and I are seeking? We have this chance now with this coronavirus quarantine and the restrictions that we have a chance now to actually hit the reset button in terms of what we seek. I think that in the midst of this whole crisis, it slowed many of us down. It's actually given us a lot of things to think about. It's caused us to think about what are the ultimate things that I need to be thinking about in my life, not just the kind of busy things that have filled up my life. And I think that we have a chance to actually hit the pause button for a second and say, am I busy for the things that are really important, or am I busy just with my life just overly full with all kinds of things that don't matter as much as I would like them to? And so I want to ask you just to simply start thinking about, what is it that I'm seeking? Not is it that I'm seeking in this period of time, but what is it that I'm seeking right now? Am I seeking peace? Am I seeking health? Am I seeking tranquility or security? Am I seeking to make sure that I can hold on to everything that I have? Am I seeking a new job? Am I seeking a new education? Am I seeking Mr. Right or Miss Right or all those different things? What are you seeking? Because what you're seeking determines the direction of your life. And the direction of your life has both a larger, all-encompassing vision that's associated with that, and it has a smaller, incremental, day-to-day, what am I doing in terms of what am I seeking and who am I seeking? So I think you get from there where I'm going with this, at least a little bit. Now, seeking is important. Human beings are seekers. I remember a Billy Crockett song many, many years ago when Becky and I were first married, and his line was, every heart is a hunter. Every heart is a hunter. They were all hunting, we're all seeking, we're all chasing something. You just have to choose, what are you seeking? And so, interestingly enough, in the Old Testament, Solomon's son, after this great King Solomon, the wise Solomon, the rich and the builder Solomon, David's son, who was king after Solomon died, his throne, his reign was taken over by his son Rehoboam. And Rehoboam was, if you will, kind of a train wreck. He instead of consulting the older, wiser guys, instead he consults his young buds, and he makes some colossal blunders that the Lord already knew he was going to do this anyway. But interesting, at the end of his life, the way that 2 Chronicles summarizes his life in 2 Chronicles 12:14, it says that Rehoboam did evil in the eyes of the Lord because he had not set his heart on seeking God. He did evil because he had not set his heart on seeking God. Now, that means that what you're seeking actually does something to all of these other things that might get you all distracted, might get you your attention. If you're seeking the right things in life, then it's not a guarantee, but it's much more likely that you're not going to be as tempted, you're not going to be as sidetracked, you're not going to be as distracted by all these other things that are shapely things and shiny things and all these other different things that are going to get or can get your attention in it. What are you seeking? What are you seeking? And so with that in mind, Jesus actually he makes a big turn in terms of, for the Israelites to be able, the people that are contemporaries of his, he's saying, what are you seeking? Seek first God's kingdom. You can seek all these things. You can seek your clothing, what you wear. You can seek what you need to eat. You can seek all these things that are going to provide you with security. Or you can seek God, and God will then take care of all those. He'll make sure he can manage his universe. He can make sure that these other things fall into place if first things are put first. First things first. So again, what or who are you seeking? Now, Jesus doesn't say, don't seek anything else. He says, seek with priority. Seek with priority. So when you are seeking the things that God has called you to seek, it doesn't mean that you don't seek a good job, that you don't seek a mate or a husband or a wife. that's a good fit for you, it doesn't mean that you don't seek that. It just means that those things are not number one. They're not chronologically number one, and they're not priority one. And so for you and I think this is a constant kind of a challenge, is who and what am I seeking? What am I seeking? Am I spending my energies? Am I headed in the direction of things that don't matter, that are not ultimate things? Or am I seeking these ultimate things? So with that in mind, I want to ask you to be thinking about, in the larger sense, what are you seeking? Like, what are you seeking in terms of what might be God's best for you? What are you seeking? Not just who are you seeking, we'll get to that, but what are you seeking? Because God cares about all these little things that are in our lives that seem like, oh no, I just have to care about religious things. No, God cares about all of those things. If the hairs on your head are numbered, which the scripture says that they are, that the Lord knows you that intimately, he cares about all of these things that you care about. It's just, if you put these things that in front of him, above him, if these things are getting all the attention, then it'll crowd the goodness of God, the blessings of God out of your and my life. And I think that a lot of us simply have coasted into this coronavirus crisis with a lot of things getting our attention and giving ourselves over to things that, if we looked in the mirror and said, do these things really matter? I think we would say to ourselves, probably not. So which ones are they that are worth seeking? What are the things that are worth seeking? Like spending time with your kids and your spouse, or spending time giving to the poor, or spending time with Jesus, or spending time cultivating a skill that will help you to love others more effectively, or spending some time developing your character and kind of going deeper spiritual formation wise. All those things matter for eternity. And I think first and foremost, we got to learn how to seek God first. How do we seek God first? That's what we're going to start looking at tomorrow. How do we seek God first? But the first question is, what are you seeking and who are you seeking? That determines the direction of your and my life. Always does, always has, always will. So with that in mind, I want to ask you to think about that. Who are you seeking and what are you seeking? That's where we'll start, and we'll pick that up tomorrow. I love you. I'm jazzed that we actually get to spend this time together and that you've tuned into this. What are you seeking and who are you seeking? Think about that. We'll talk tomorrow. God bless you.